Hi, I'm Paula Krauss, a lawyer at Porta Law, here to answer your quick question. Are there differences between termination pay and severance pay? The answer is yes, there are some important differences. Now, of course, what I'm going to talk about is the meanings and differences between these two concepts in British Columbia. Other jurisdictions have different meanings and therefore different legal consequences for termination pay and severance pay. So in BC, termination pay is a concept that we find in the Employment Standards Act. That is the piece of legislation that sets out all the minimum standards that employers have to meet. So minimum wage, minimum vacation, minimum overtime pay. The Employment Standards Act says that employers, when they dismiss an employee without cause, owe that employee working notice or termination pay if they don't give that working notice. So for an employee that's worked from 0 to 3 months, nothing is owed. Once an employee has worked more than 3 months, 1 week of notice or termination pay is owed. Once an employee has worked more than 1 year, it's 2 weeks. Once an employee has worked more than 2 years, it's still 2 weeks. After 3 years, it's 3 weeks of notice or termination pay. After 4 years, it's 4 weeks of notice or termination pay, and that goes up to a maximum of 8. Now, unless there is something in the employment contract that limits the employer's liability to just that minimum notice or termination pay, the employer might still owe something more, and that is called severance pay or common law severance. And so severance pay is calculated in a more generous way than those minimum standards. We look at what other courts or previous courts have said and previous judges have said, and what they look at is number one, the employee's tenure, how long they've been working. Number two, what the nature and character of their position is. Number three, what their age is. And number four, the availability of similar positions. And those similar positions are comparable positions at comparable pay. So all those factors go together to determine what an employee's common law severance would be. And often that is much larger than what their termination pay is. So if you've got questions about termination pay, about severance, or if you need to dismiss an employee and need to figure out how much you owe, get in touch with us at Porta Law, and feel free to comment in the comment section below. Thanks for listening.